Karl, how can we, in good conscience,
Yes.
a channel called Fact Fiend, talk about this utter set of lies?
Oh, the moon landing. Well, Brad, the moon landing's real. What the conspiracy is, that they have had to doctor the footage so you couldn't see the Earth is round. As The Simpsons once said, you can't diss the American flag because it partied on the moon. Apparently though, it partied just a little bit too hard because it fell over approximately 10 seconds after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin pieced the hell out.
The flag that they put on the moon?
Yeah, the Apollo 11 mission one.
Isn't that the famous one that everyone always shows
Yeah,
pictures
the one on MTV. Yeah, that fell over.
It just fell over?
10 seconds after they left the moon. Literally, it didn't even stand for 10 seconds.
Why?
The exhaust from the command module blew it over. Buzz Aldrin actually reported when they were taking off, it's like, yeah, I looked out to take one last look at the moon's surface. And as I did, I saw that flag we planted, the symbol of American ingenuity, blow over. Fantastic. What a ball punch for NASA that is. Like, we sent a man to the moon. We put man on the moon. We put a flag up there, shit. America did it. We did it first. We got up there, put a flag on the moon, and it fell over. It's like, oh, you can't even write it. You couldn't write something this perfect. It's amazing.
I was strolling on the moon one day in a merry month of December. Now, May.
Why didn't they just put it further away?
Well, here's the problem, Brad. You see, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin first went to the moon, NASA were terrified at the idea one of them would fall over and die because they didn't know how durable their spacesuits were. So they were told, only go about 100 feet away from the command module at any one time and always travel together. So if one of you gets into trouble, you can help them. And they, and this is true, told them only kneel in an absolute emergency because they didn't know if the spacesuit would rip if they tried to bend over or if they fell over. And they were genuinely concerned that if, like, an accident happened, like, the men they sent to the moon would just die of starvation and shame in a lunar pit after falling over and being unable to right themselves, because they didn't know how the person would move around in like 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Thankfully, when they got back to Earth and they studied the wear and tear on their suits, they were able to establish that, by looking at this, we can see these spacesuits are plenty durable. You can run around on the moon, you can jump about. It's fine if you like. If you fall over, it's not going to be a big deal because I think Neil Armstrong was on and said, yeah, we found a way of righting ourselves when we did like get a bit too low. And it's just a simple matter of rocking and pushing yourself up and then jumping along. Which means that we can now show you at home footage of astronauts falling over on the moon.
Uh-oh.
So the people watching at home, this meant that neither Aldrin nor Armstrong could venture any more than 100 feet away from the command module. Because obviously, remember, they thought they might die if they fell over or dropped a sample and bent down to pick it up. And this meant that they had to put the American flag right next to the lunar command module, which looked great on TV and later on MTV, but didn't exactly work out all that well when the command module had to take off again.
So what happened then?
Well, what happened, Brad, is as the lunar command module took off for the final time, just the exhaust just knocked the flag over. And Buzz Aldrin said, I looked out the window, I just went to stare like the majesty of the moon's surface one last time, and I saw our American flag just like eat shit. And I was like, oh. And this is what I don't get, like the conspiracy nuts. NASA did cover this fact up because they tried to suppress that fact. It doesn't sound that great, does it? That the first flag planted on the moon just fell over immediately as soon as we left. It doesn't really set a good example. So what NASA did, they tried to suppress that as much as they could until about 2012, when they just got a telescope and they looked at the original landing site and went, yeah, the flag's no longer casting a shadow. So there's only two explanations here. Either the flag fell over or it's a ghost flag. And NASA's like, well, I guess it fell over then. And they just really sheepishly admitted, well, yeah, we guess the flag did fall over. Also as well, they've also established that because of obviously there's no atmosphere on the moon, it's probably been bleached pure white anyway. because of all like the solar radiation, which means that technically there's just a white flag, like not an American flag, it's a big white flag. So technically all of humanity surrendered to the aliens. So if they land on the moon and check and go, what's this? A white flag. Ooh, that's a symbol of surrender in their country. Oh, this must be a nice warning for us. That's why Independence Day is going to happen. If aliens ever invade, it's going to be because, and they think we're a big bunch of pussies, it's because they're going to go to the moon and find a big, like a load of white flags all over its surface, thinking, man, these guys really wanted us to know that they gave up super hard. Can we just for a second just appreciate this? America sent billions, literal billions. They sent a bloke all the way to the moon. They gave him a flag, the symbol of their country, and went, put this on the moon so the world will forever know that we were here first. 10 seconds after they leave, it falls over. That's some Faulty Towers shit right there. That's a sitcom. There was no sound on the moon because there's no atmosphere and there's no air, but like, what sound effect do you think the flag would have made if it could? Wah, wah, wah. Just a foghorn comes out of nowhere. Oh. And there's the best bit about it. Like, even though NASA denied for years, up until about 2012, when they conclusively showed, yeah, that flag, it definitely fell over. And NASA's like, no, it didn't. It's still there. It's still standing proud. It's still a symbol of what humanity achieved all those years ago. They did advise every subsequent astronaut who went to the moon, put your flag as far away from the command module as possible. You know, just in case. And I'd like to think, how do those two things add up in your head? So the flag didn't fall over, did it? No, it's definitely still up there. So where do you want to put our flag? Next to command module, like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did? No. Put it about a couple hundred feet away. Why? You know, it's be different. Shouldn't we honour the memory of Armstrong and Aldrin by, doing exactly as they did? No. Definitely as far away as you can.
This hilarious conspiracy theory that's going around just made us think, what if it did fall over? That would be pretty bad. Just put yours a bit further away.
This is the idea. Some bean counter at NASA actually had to sit an astronaut down and tell him, look, I'm about to tell you a secret here. He's like, oh shit, what is it? Like when Neil Armstrong and Buzz went to the moon, like, oh shit, did they find Megatron? Was there aliens up there or some shit? What was it? It's like, no one else knows this. This is some top level classified shit. The flag, yeah, it fell over. And that astronaut, like his mind's, oh god damn it, I thought I was going to listen to something cool. I thought we were going to find the clangers were up there or something like that. I was like, no, it fell over. So, damn it. I'm imagining it's like the president. I just want to imagine that the president who came in afterwards and go all the top secret files. Like, it would have been Obama, wouldn't it? He'd have been in office before 2012. If he gets in and goes, right, where's the classified shit? And they're like, oh, would you like to learn the secrets about the moon landings? I would definitely like to learn all those secrets about that moon landing. So this is absolutely top secret, Mr. Obama. It's like, and he gets it and he opens it up and he's like, oh, and he sees all the letters on it. It's like, it's covered in tape and big red X's and stuff on it. He's like, oh, I can't wait to read this. Opens it up and it's just like, the flag fell over. And Obama's like, oh, because he can't believe it. Yeah, good job, America. You went all the way to the moon and you planted a flag on its surface to show the world that you made it there first, and then it fell over. There's not even a joke to go there. I think that writes itself, to be honest, don't you? Have you seen that thing about, because Prince Harry's marrying an American, technically if he had a kid with his new wife, they could become president. And they said, well, wouldn't it be great if Prince Harry's kid was president but also in line to the throne at the same time? And then the British are playing the long game here, but they want America back, and that's how they're going to do it. Since we're talking about the American flag, have I told you about the present my dad got me from New Zealand?
No.
People who watch this, who follow me on Facebook or Twitter or something, might know that I own this. But my dad went to New Zealand around the time Donald Trump became the US president-elect. While he was over in New Zealand, a student bar held a fuck you Donald Trump party. And they had a poster with Donald Trump's face on it, and it says underneath it, fuck you, Donald Trump. I have that poster on my wall at home in my bedroom. Because my dad saw it, laughed his ass off, thought, Karl would love this as a souvenir. And while he was there, he overheard potentially one of my favourite conversations. My dad said one of the things they were doing for this fuck you Donald Trump week-long party was they were selling little cocktails, and instead of a sparkler, it came with a burning American flag. This didn't go down all that well with one particular American tourist who had a conversation with the barman that my dad relayed to me that I was laughing my ass off in Wetherspoons while drinking a pint. This American went over to the bartender and said, "That's very disrespectful, you know." Huh? Burning the American flag. That's not very respectful. You can't burn our flag. And the bartender's like, "It's not your flag. It's my flag. We paid for it. No, you can't burn our flags. But it's not your flag. It's our flag. We paid for the flag. Would you like to get a drink?" He goes, "No, I don't want to get a drink. It's not want you burning my flag." Again, it's not your flag. We paid for it. And this went on for a while until the American went, "How would you like it if I went and bought a New Zealand flag and burned it in front of you?" And the guy, "Well, I wouldn't care because it'd be your flag." And my dad was just sat in there in this bar, like quietly trying to steal this poster from the wall, overhearing this, just going, "Karl's gonna love this story." I was howling in Wetherspoons and my dad was telling me that. I'm like, "How long did this go on for?" He went, "Son, it was still going on when I left." Okay though, but for the sake of fairness, this is like those stories, like they always wound me when I hear them, like English people or British people going abroad, like Spain, and then complaining about Spanish people don't speak English. So you hear those stories and you're like, "Oh no, Terry, I know you're on holiday. I know lager's only like £1.50 a pint. You're a representative for our country on the world stage, and this is what you do. You walk into a foreign country and say, 'Why don't you speak English?' Eh?" You know, you hear stories like that and they wound you. Like, you feel bad for the person and for, like, other people who come from that country thinking, "Oh no." I was going around Europe and I was really embarrassed, like second hand. Like, "Oh no," when I was like in Italy, are they going to think like one of those fucking stupid British tourists who's just going to go in and go, "All right, pal, uno. Like, one-o, uno, wino, please, senoro." Like, you know, people think I'm taking the piss. That is exactly what some British tourists like that.
British tourists are awful.
We are renowned for our awfulness when it comes to like, how we treat foreign people abroad. All those British people, like those expats in Spain, who live in Spain, enjoy living in Spain, and voted for Brexit. And you hear it and you go, "What? What are you doing? What are you doing?" It's like one of my favourites is there was a big study of like a big questionnaire put out to people, expats who live in Spain, but they live in like little English villages that they basically make around themselves where they only speak English and have English stores, and they don't integrate with Spanish society. Do you think foreigners coming to England should have to speak English? And do you know what they overwhelmingly said? Because they're all old and right-wing. Yes, they should. While living in a country where they don't speak the language. And there's no like irony. They don't get it. So, "Oh yeah, foreigners should definitely learn to speak English if they come to Britain. Where are you living right now? Spain. Do you speak Spanish? No, I don't need to. Yeah, foreigners should definitely learn to speak English. They come to Britain. It's just not right, is it? Coming to another person's country and not integrate." Another pint, please, Paolo.